to the 2025 Street Parking Vault. Your week 4 workout is FUCANGLONG. The Program B version of this workout is 20 front squats, followed by 3 wall walks. 18 front squats, followed by 3 wall walks. 16 front squats, followed by 3 wall walks. Reducing the number of front squats each time you pick up the bar by 2, but keeping the wall walks at 3 until you've completed 2 front squats and 3 wall walks. Your score for this workout is your total time with the goal of 12 to 18 minutes. Welcome back to the 2025 Street Parking Vault. Your week 4 workout is FUCANGLONG. The shift version of this workout is 20 goblet squats, followed by 4 inchworms. "18 goblet squats, followed by 4 inchworms. 16 goblet squats, followed by 4 inchworms, lowering the goblet squats by 2 reps each time, keeping the inchworms at 4 until you've completed 2 goblet squats and 4 inchworms. Now, if you're not up to doing the inchworms today, you could also choose, in place of the 4 inchworms, to do 8 push-up taps. Your score for this workout is your total time with the goal of 10 to 16 minutes.
What's up, guys? Welcome to week 4 of the 2025 Vault. Molly and I are going to be getting after FUCANGLONG. I'm going to be doing program B with a barbell. I've got 75 pounds here, and Molly is going to be doing program A, and she's using 35.
All right, here we go. It's really funny to watch yourself and talk about it.
All right, I'll dive right into it, you guys. This is definitely going to be a wall walk workout. So it's going to be a lot about managing those wall walks. And we had a few questions around maybe how to customize them, or sort of maybe too also on how to approach them. So I would say once you guys are onto the wall to do your wall walks, you should be able to get 1 rep roughly every 10 to 15 seconds. That would be a great goal. And then further from that, then we might look at customizing. So Molly, do you want to touch on some of the customizations that people could use for the wall walk?
Yeah, definitely. So we have the, you can always shorten the range of motion, right? So maybe you can't get all the way to the wall, but you could find a spot before the workout. Maybe you're marking it with a piece of chalk or a tape that you're going to walk your hands back to each time. I think having a marker, if you are going to customize the distance you go up the wall, is important to hold yourself accountable to kind of keeping that same range of motion each time. Another great one is that you could do a pike position on a box, right? So get your toes up onto a box. You could kind of walk your hands out and walk your hands back towards the box, similar to a wall walk, but our toes are just elevated on a box. Then we, of course, have the inchworms. So it would be 2 inchworms in place of each wall walk, or we have the push-up plus taps. So essentially for every wall walk, you would do 4 push-up plus taps. And really, there's a ton of different ways that you can approach this, and kind of knowing yourself and playing around with some of the customizations before the workout will help kind of dictate which one you should do. And who knows, maybe you get into the workout and you're like, oh, whoa, I overestimated this and I need to maybe come down a little bit, or maybe drop the number a little bit.
Yeah, and with that, I do think the goal time or range for this workout is generous. So we're looking at 12 to 18 minutes. So like Molly said, if you guys start and you're really feeling like, oh, this isn't working for me, you can always adjust. Another option is like sprinkling in a couple different variations. So maybe you're always doing your wall walks the same way. You're always doing the inchworm and you want to dabble and try something else. So maybe you do, the range of motion, or limiting your range of motion. So you're only walking a little bit up the wall and then coming back down. And then for the next 2 reps, you do your inchworm plus a push-up at the bottom. So you can kind of play around with a different approach to it. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same way all the way across, especially if you want to dabble into other variations. So it would be a good time to practice that.
Yeah, definitely.
And for the squats, so Molly and I kind of talked about this beforehand. We definitely think that they should be unbroken. Like you should just be choosing weights where there's no question you can go unbroken. They'll get your heart rate up a little bit. They'll be uncomfortable, but you can do it. There may be some sort of exceptions to that rule. So one of those would be the weight you choose should never be the limiting factor of whether you can go unbroken on the squats or not. But if you decided to break, maybe especially on those earlier rounds to save your shoulders, you could. So it's going to tax your upper back just holding the weight, and it's going to tax your shoulders. So if you did a quick break, you're intentional about how long you're resting. So maybe you're taking a peek at the clock, 15, 20 seconds, and then you're getting back on it.
Yeah, and I know we mentioned this on our tip that was posted like on Instagram, but one of the things that helped me was trying to walk right over and pick up the weight and just start squatting. So that's one of the things that we're talking about with the weight that you pick. It shouldn't be something where you're like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so heavy, I need time before I pick it up. You should be able to kind of come off the wall, walk right over to whatever you're squatting and pick it right up, because you're going to want a little breather before you get into those wall walks. For sure.
Yeah, that's definitely the time to rest, is coming off the weight into the wall walks if you're going to rest. And this is typically like more wall walks than you would see in some of our daily workouts. I mean, I know sometimes we do, this is 30 reps total. It's a little bit more, but again, you guys can attack it in so many different ways. Now let's talk about, I think the extra challenge for this is either more weight or more wall walks or both. And we definitely think I probably could have gone extra challenge for this workout. But if you're looking at the extra challenge and you're like, I don't know, same kind of rule of thumb is just going to be getting 1 rep every 10 to 15 seconds on the wall walk. So if you're looking at extra challenge, that's what you're going to want to consider.
Yeah. And those of you guys that know, you're like, wall walks for me, I'm comfortable with, I can do the higher end when these typically come up. You can challenge yourself and go for those 4 every time. You just might be on the higher end of the goal with it.
And I don't know if you guys noticed, but our clock timed out in the background here, which is why there's a whole bunch of talking, because we had no idea where we were. But it didn't really matter. It's a 4-time workout. So
I think at one point in this workout, our clock goes out, and then at one point I get slightly confused on which number we're on. So I'm shouting at Chelsea, like, is it 12? Are we on 12? So you'll see that at some point in this workout as well.
And luckily, I think Molly made some kind of like tally mark in the background on the whiteboard, and she was like swiping or adding to, I'm not sure. But I was like peeking over. I was like peeking over because I also lost count. So that might be something to think about before you guys do this workout, is create some kind of system for yourself where you can keep track of what round you're on, because it does get a little lost in there.
Yeah, and one thing you'll notice with my dumbbells, just because the question might come up, my dumbbells are pretty far back. I found this to be a little bit more comfortable and take the fatigue off of the shoulders a bit. I found like I could hold on to the front head of the dumbbell, which loosened up my grip, which released a lot of the tension on the shoulders, just because of the amount of wall walks you're doing, and then just holding the weight on your shoulders, it really catches up with you. So I found tilting them back slightly was just a little bit more comfortable. How was the barbell for you, Chelsea?
The barbell was fine. I would just say, let that bar roll back onto your shoulders, like on the end of your fingertips, so keep an open palm. That way you can really let it rest on your chest and in that front rack position. It's going to be super helpful. But I felt it mostly in my upper back. It's just, for me, generally, anytime I do front squats, where I feel a lot of fatigue. And obviously my core too. But so that could be something you guys think about. Combining the wall walk and the front squat is like your midline might be a little bit more taxed. So make sure you're focusing on getting into good positions when you're going upside down. One of the things
to crush me.
One of the things I always like to do I always do when I do wall walks is when I'm on the ground here and setting up for my next rep is I pull my belly in nice and tight. That way I'm locking in my core and I'm avoiding this overextension where I put a lot of, pressure on my lower back, and I try to maintain that position throughout the entire rep. So locking in your core as you're going into the rep is going to be super important, because we don't want to do it where our back is super overextended, our belly's poking out. That's just not a good position to put ourselves in.
Chelsea, you want to talk a little bit about the shift version of this workout?
Yeah. So shift is the exact same, where it descends in reps. So it goes 20, 18, 16, except you're doing a goblet squat. So you're just going to be holding a single dumbbell or kettlebell in the front of your chest. I think the same idea should be taken with shift. Those should be unbroken. So choose a weight where you can go unbroken. And then you guys will be doing, you'll be doing 4 inchworm in place of the 3 wall walks. Or you guys can also do 8 push-up plus taps. So there's a couple different variations that you can do there as well. And those should just be kind of steady moving at your own pace. You can take a little bit of time, but sort of the same approach too, in the sense that maybe for every inchworm, you're getting them done in about 10 to 15 seconds. So about a minute each time.
Yeah. Just a nice little rest, and then laying down on the ground.
Yeah. One thing I think both Molly and I do on the wall walks is at the bottom, we take a moment, we lift, and we didn't do it there because we're at the end of a set, but we'll lift our hands up and then we'll press them back into the floor before we go into that next rep. And it sort of just takes some of that pressure off of our shoulders. I think this is my last.
Yeah, this is your last one. So you're on 2, and I think I have either 6-4-2 or I'm on 4-2.
Right now, I'm just going for it.
Looking at the time right now, like Chelsea said, I mean, she's going to finish under 10. So we definitely, probably both of us, I would have, I mean, even though I'm moving slower than her, we probably could have done the 4 for the extra challenge, but we just weren't sure with that volume how much it would add up.
Yeah. And we did heavier weight. Both of us did extra challenge weight. So it would just be adding the extra wall walk. And I think you guys can see Molly sort of rests her hands a little bit at the bottom. So that can be a helpful strategy when chipping away at these.
Oh, I think there was a bad song on too. I was asking to change right there.
I think,
so this will be my last one.
Yeah. And once you guys do get to that last little bit of the workout, try to keep your transitions really quick when you're on the 6, 4, and 2s. It's just walk to your weight, pick it up, do it, and then just keep chipping away. Try not to waste a lot of time, especially if you're feeling good.
I had one more to go here. I did not want to do it. Yeah, so we were both under the goal.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So yeah, we'll hang on here. We'll kind of check to see if there's any more questions specifically around the workout. Drop them in the comments so we can answer those for you guys while you have Chelsea and I.
All right.
I mean, who can say this name 5 times fast? Yeah, let us know what version you guys are going to do, or if you have any questions about customizing the wall walks. We pretty much covered that movement, but yeah, we'll hang out here and just let us know if you guys need anything. I can't say.
Angela mentions that her front squat kind of gets a little sketchy when she gets tired with a barbell. So this could be sort of the exception to going unbroken. You could benefit, Angela, from breaking up the barbell. So I know we recommend trying to go unbroken, but if you're feeling like you're losing your positions, especially on those rounds of 20, 18, 16, it's a lot of reps to be done in a row, I would recommend that you just break it. Look at the clock, take 15 to 20 seconds to sort of readjust so that you can maintain those positions. And just like I talked about earlier, really get your elbows up, let the bar roll to the back of your fingertips so it can rest on your shoulders. So that's kind of the way that I would recommend approaching that.
Someone, Angela also asked if we warmed up our shoulders at all before the workout, or was it mostly a squat warm up? So what's kind of funny is when we do these workouts, we can sometimes film multiple in a row in a few days, meaning we film a few vaults. So Chelsea and I were both pretty sore going into this one from a previous vault we filmed. So we did, oh, thank you. We did, I warmed up my shoulders a little bit and my squat a little bit, but to be honest, it wasn't a ton. I would say focusing on getting the shoulders nice and warm before this workout would be beneficial. Chelsea, though, you might have a little bit more to add to that.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I don't know that, to be honest with you, Molly and I really warmed up much, but if wall walks tend to be just because of the chaos of everything and all the filming that we were doing, but if you have the time, I would definitely recommend warming your shoulders. And if you struggle with any type of overhead mobility, focus on opening up your shoulders. So that could be doing things like a single arm overhead carry. Maybe you're doing some lat stretches. Maybe you're doing a barbell in the front rack and kind of rotating this way. Spending a lot of time opening up your shoulders is going to be really important for those wall walks. And if you struggle with a barbell in that front rack position.
Julie's saying that she missed our recommendations for the customization. So basically the wall walk customizations, Julie, can be, you can shorten the range of motion, meaning you can walk up the wall as far as you're comfortable with. You can do an inchworm, you could do a push-up plus taps, or you could do an elevated kind of where your toes are on a box or in a pike position and you walk your hands out and walk your hands back in. Now, there was the question if there's when you do that variation where your toes are on the box, if you need to complete the push-up at the bottom, and you don't. You can just walk your hands out, and as you walk your hands back in, ideally what you're trying to do is let your butt go more above your head than kind of it going backwards. So you kind of want to stack your butt over your shoulders as if you were doing like a wall walk against the wall. But obviously customize as needed.
You could, just to play off that, you could do that customization, the pike walk. And if you still wanted to add the push-up, that would be a great example of like, hey, I'm going to do 2 pike walks and then I'm going to do, 6 push-up plus taps or whatever it is. You can play around, and that's just fitness freedom. You guys just kind of have to find what challenges you and works for you, but that's where you could do a couple different variations.
Are there any other questions? I'm not seeing this one. Erica says she's going to go practice her wall walks. I love the box pike walk. Yeah, that's a great customization.
I don't see any other questions either.
Well, guys, it was fun. We hope you guys enjoy this one. One other tip on those wall walks is don't forget to breathe. A lot of the times you can really hold your breath through that movement, and it's such a big movement that make sure that you're breathing while you move through that as well. So, yeah, we hope you guys have fun with this one.
Yeah, have fun, guys.